underway here in just a moment. And away they go. We have a race. And right from the bat, we have two different screens. Looks like Laurie is going for the guts first, the guts start, which is not a bad start. There's some glitchless runners, I myself being one of them, that like to start this way just because of some of the safety of it, and if you're really familiar with it from running glitchless or even zipless, you might be really good at running guts first. Coolkid going cut first, he of course is going to just run right through this level. When he gets to elect stage, he's going to be doing the magnet beam grab. He's going to zip through some walls and grab the magnet beam, even though he's not going to knock the walls down with guts power. So that'll be something to watch for when he gets to the next stage here. And Laurie getting the happy, helpful big eye there. That big eye, if he jumps short twice, you can jump over the top of him, which is great. So Laurie's off to a good start on guts here. And Coolkid cruising along in cut. If you're new to Mega Man, and Mega Man 1 in particular, there's all sorts of ways to play this game. We're playing all stages today, which means it's any % all stages, and so that means you can use whatever tips and tricks and glitches you can to get through the game. So you can go through the walls if you can enable that. You can use the select glitch to take bosses down faster or to avoid knockback. It's all stages because you still do have to play through all stages of the game. Other popular categories are zipless, where you can still use glitches to take down bosses or to avoid knockback, but you cannot zip. You cannot just travel through walls or do screen wraps and things like that. And then there, of course, is the best category, glitchless, which is the way you might have played it when you were a kid. You run through the game, you use the weapons, you don't use any weird tricks or anything. You just play the game straight up, basically. Coolkid entering Elect Man stage as Laurie begins Cut Man. You might think Laurie's catching up because Coolkid just completed this stage, but the Gut stage is a very short stage, so we're not really going to know what kind of a lead either runner has until they converge again around Wily 1. Coolkid with a very uncharacteristic fall there. It's very rare to see any mistakes at all out of Coolkid, let alone something that we all, normal people can actually see, that he actually fell down a screen. Coolkid's coming up to a spot in Elect where he's going to be going for a corner jump. It's a very precise jump to get around this little platform. Here it is. And of course, he's got it first try. That's a very tricky jump. It's very tight. You've got to jump at just the right moment and wiggle around that ledge. If you fall down the screen and have to come back up, you lose about 12 seconds. But Coolkid's not losing any time on that today. Coolkid's a couple of screens away from the magnet beam grab. He's going to do some precision inputs to get himself into the walls and go get the magnet beam. The danger is if he ends up in that little room where the magnet beam is, all the way in it, you get stuck. You soft lock the game and you must reset in order to continue on. But Coolkid, of course, avoiding that jail, taking the top exit, which is the trickier one. Laurie moving through the hallway, about to take on Cutman. And the advantage of going through Guts first is now Laurie can throw these blocks at Cutman and take him down really fast. And using the select glitch to hit him twice with the same block. Nicely done. Coolkid gets hit by the big eye. This is the elect climb, and this is a very tricky piece of beam work if you want to do it fast. Coolkid's going to show us how it's done, just like that. Getting the beams down quickly with a drop shot and getting around those zappers is a lot harder than it looks. Coolkid making it look easy. Laurie at the beginning of elect stage. Laurie with a really good pace going on so far. Staying at about what looks like a one-stage deficit from Coolkid, but we know that's not true because Laurie's already done with Guts. Coolkid's going to be moving on to Ice now, and as he gets a little ways into Ice, you're going to see some of the first zips with the magnet beam. If you get the magnet beam in the right position, and Mega Man is squeezed between that beam, where you're able to stand on it. If he's squeezed between that beam and something above him, like a ceiling of another platform, or even the, I guess it's the top of the screen, but I guess that's really a screen wrap, and so you're being squeezed by the bottom of the screen. It's kind of confusing. But he's going to kind of zip along. There he goes, and that's why they call it a zip. And there's a big zip here, where when he gets this one in screen wraps, he can avoid a couple of screens altogether. He doesn't have to deal with any Yoku blocks. And there he goes. And that's how you do it, folks, right there. Now Laurie's going to show us how, when you get here and you don't want to risk going to jail, you use Guts power. And you come up here and you take these blocks and you toss them away. And now there's no risk of soft blocking the game and having to reset by doing that. And it's a great strategy. I prefer it myself. Coolkid's going to use the select glitch to take down Iceman here. The select glitch, we can talk about that as soon as he finishes him off here. You can see that Iceman got hit multiple times by the same elect beam. So what you do there is, as soon as your target gets hit by your projectile, you hit select to pause the game, and hit select again to unpause the game. Normally, bosses and big targets have iframes where you can't just hit them really fast repeatedly. You have to wait for those iframes to wear off. But when you use the select glitch, you cancel their iframes. And since their iframes are canceled, you can hit that target with the same projectile. So that elect beam took down Iceman in 3 quick hits because of pressing select in the right timing. For a moment there, Laurie was using the select glitch to avoid knockback damage or falling animation. Or not knockback damage, but knockback animation. When you get hit by stuff as Mega Man gets knocked somewhere. If you're on a ladder, you fall off. If you're on the ground, you get knocked back a little bit. So if you hit select right when Mega Man gets hit by something, you cancel the knockback or the falling, and you can just continue on your way. Coolkid setting up the big fire zip. This is a little bit of a risky zip because you can die here if you misplace your jump, but Coolkid threw it, no problem. Laurie finishes off Elect Man and moving on to Ice. Coolkid's going for some corridor zips here. Like I said, you can squeeze yourself between the beam and the ceiling. There was one right there, and you can see when he gets the beam placed perfectly, and it has to be on the right pixel, but you jump up there and face left, Mega Man will kind of fly through the level, because the game is trying to get him out of a stuck situation. So it moves him over to the right really, really quickly. And Coolkid using the select glitch to take down Fireman. Coolkid's onto Bomb. And you got a 50,000 point value. Those point values actually do matter when you get points awarded for defeating the boss finally. Coolkid got 50,000. It goes anywhere from 50,000 up to 100,000. And the reason that matters is because at the end of the stage, after you defeat a boss, it tallies up your points. The more points you have, the longer it takes to tally them up. So if you get 100,000 points, it's got to spool those points up a little bit longer than it takes to just spool up 50,000 points. Laurie doing a good job using beams to get out of that nasty platform area on Ice. That's a place it's pretty darn easy to die there. on those platforms because they're shooting at you and they move weird and they're pretty glitchy. Coolkid's using the beam to avoid Sniper Joe, and that's a tricky strategy. Oh, he gets knocked down just a little bit, but he's going to get back out. You'll see most runners, and he gets the little zip there, most runners are going to use ice on that Sniper Joe in bomb stage. They're going to just freeze him, he's going to be stuck there, and then you can go about your business. But Coolkid using beams to get over the top of him. The reason beams are slightly faster than ice is because you have at least one more, or one less, menu change. So you're saving time by not menuing. Laurie quickly takes down Iceman with the select glitch. Coolkid select glitching Bomb Man. Needs that one more hit. So Coolkid's going to go on to Guts now, and that's where Laurie started. Coolkid will show us how, when you get to Guts and you have the beam, you are at an advantage because now you can use the beam to get through the level more quickly. You don't have to worry about those little moving platforms. You're just going to keep running. You're just going to keep moving along. And there he goes on the beams. And at the end there, he wants to get a zip. He didn't quite get the first one, but he's going to try again because there is more beam work coming right here. If he can get the height of the beam just right, pixel perfect underneath his score there, and place the next beam, there's a zip. There we go. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the right side of the screen. Laurie is back at the beginning of fire. Something went wrong, because Laurie has been through here once before. I'm thinking Laurie may have fallen in the lava at some point just recently. And now Coolkid's going to take down Gutsman with a bomb. This is a pretty tricky thing to do. You need to hit him 3 times. To do the select glitch, it's kind of hard. And he gets the swag grab. When Gutsman hits the ground after jumping, he causes an earthquake, and it sends Mega Man into this little animation of being bounced around that he's in right now. But if you take down Gutsman the way Coolkid just did, he'll give you that earthquake. You're going to get that earthquake animation, but you can position yourself under the orb so that you get the grab anyway. Called the swag grab, among many other things. And Coolkid's going to go for a zip here at the beginning of Wily 1. Kind of a risky one, because he's going to use beams, and if he doesn't get the zip, then he's a little low on beams. But if he gets it, it's very worth it. And there he goes. It's worth it because some of those jumps that he just skipped are difficult and they take up time. So, Coolkid putting on a clinic on how you do Wily 1. Laurie's arriving at Fireman. Gonna take down Fireman with ice. And finishing off Fireman. Taking down Fireman with the select glitch is one of the most difficult select glitch bosses because Fireman's moving around and the ice projectile flies pretty fast, so you don't have a lot of time to really get all of those hits in. Your timing has to be really precise. Coolkid taking down the Yellow Devil quickly in one cycle. That's where the select glitch really pays off. Normally on the Yellow Devil, you can only hit him 1 time per cycle. After you hit him once, he's going to go into pieces again and go over to the left side of the screen. But if you use the select glitch, you reset his iframes and his vulnerability, and you can hit him multiple times with your elect beam and take him down in that 1 cycle. Saves a lot of time. Coolkid's going for the Wily 2 zip. This is a good good clinic, again, on all the fastest strats, the world record strats. And Coolkid skipped fighting Cutman because he pulled that off correctly. That zip is probably the hardest one in the game, as far as I know. I don't do it. I don't even try it, because this is impossible. Get the beam at the perfect place and get into the wall. Now, these are frame-perfect jumps that he's trying to do to get up to the top. And even now... Okay, whatever that movement is, I don't know what it is, but he gets out of that wall, avoids having to fight Elecman. You can soft lock the game there. For some reason, if you end up sub-pixeled or whatever causes it, you will end up in a situation where you're in that room, but there is no boss. And without a boss, but you being stuck in the room, you can't do anything to get yourself out. And Coolkid getting the final zip all the way to the bottom. What a Wily 2, that was something else. Laurie's arriving at Bomb Man. So Laurie is on a really good pace. Really good pace. Laurie's going to take down Bomb Man, and that's Laurie's final Robomaster. Going to be going to Wily after this. Coolkid taking down the clone. Once you've fought the clone enough and you use fire, this fight really becomes kind of just mundane. Pretty easy. You get used to where you need to stand, and that clone will go down pretty quick. So Laurie heading into Wily on what looks like a really good pace for Laurie. Coolkid's going to show us how you zip through Wily 3. He's going to go for the first beam. Lets you zip through here. You got to come out of this wall just right to place this beam so that you can do the big zip right here. And Coolkid, perfect as often as... I was going to say as always, but we did see one mistake. Is Coolkid human? I still have my doubts. Oh, and Laurie was going for the Wily 1 zip, using some beams there, or at least using beams to skip the big eyes. And the big eyes are being mean. These big eyes at the beginning of Wily 1 are really tricky. And there's 3 of them that you have to get past, and they do a ton of damage. You can only take 2 hits and survive. If Laurie takes a 3rd hit from this 3rd big eye, gonna take another death. Nice little sneak there by Laurie. Well done. So Laurie's gonna go the more traditional way. This is the way Coolkid didn't go. So now you get to see you go through some blocks, and now you've got these fire sticks. Ah, that's a good strategy. You can freeze them so that you just take them out of play and you jump off of them, and there you go. So well done by Laurie there. Coolkid into Wily 4. And there's a zip and a skip that Coolkid needs to do here. Actually, maybe more than one, because he can do all the other little mini zips that I don't really pay attention to. So he's going to go for the swag setup. He doesn't have it. So that means he's going to change to Elec. He's going to go get this refill with Beam. And he's probably going to go the traditional route. There it is. Little mini zip. And now Coolkid's going to try to skip these refights. He's going to take a death. But it's very worth it because you don't have to fight 4 robots. He goes up into the ceiling, screen wraps a couple times. He's dead, but his respawn point is after all 4 of the robots, so he's right in front of Wily's door now. Laurie making it through the ugly platform room. That platform room has claimed a lot of runs. Those stupid shooty platforms move randomly, and they can really get in your way and mess up your run, because you usually get through there with beams. But sometimes they just get right in your face and they don't let you go. So Coolkid is going to finish off Wily here. Can he get sub 19? It's going to be tight. Oh, he took a couple hits on the ground, I don't think. And it's a 19.9. Almost sub 19 for Coolkid. His SRL time is 19:01, so GG Coolkid. Laurie takes down Yellow Devil. Still on a good pace here. You have to keep in mind, Coolkid is the world record holder. The rest of us humans, when we get times in the low 20s, we're pretty happy. You just saw in chat there, the world record is 18:19. So Coolkid, what is that? Approximately 40 seconds over world record. Really impressive. Some viewers pointing out that's Coolkid's first 19 in the tournament. He had 18s when he ran. I forgot who he ran against, but he had 18s before. So Cherry Point, I saw 1859. It could be 1859 if we go back for review, but we're splitting hairs if we're doing that, right? Laurie, nice job with Cutman. Cruising along Wily 2 here. Wily 2 is this very scary level. There's so many things that can go wrong. If you get hit by one of these bullets or you get hit by another enemy and you fall, not only do you take a death and it's hard, but the checkpoint on Wily 2 is really far into the level. So a lot of times if you take a death here in Wily 2, you go back to the beginning and it's pretty tragic. Avoiding these bombs is not easy. We're getting through pretty well. Now going to drop down and go down some ledges and ladders to get to the clone room. Coolkid's going to just keep on playing from the looks of it. I'm going to practice his ice pixels maybe. Oh, Laurie getting some really good health refills there because he was getting a little bit low. The clone fight, like I said, is usually pretty mundane, but, you know, things happen. You know, we make mistakes, and you can take plenty of damage from the clone if you're not paying enough attention. So getting that health there is a little insurance for Laurie. That's probably really good. It looks like we've changed our audio here, going over to Laurie's channel, which makes sense. Laurie's still running. Coolkid's practicing and doing stuff. I think Coolkid's trying to do this other glitch. You can I've only seen it once or twice, and I don't know the point of it. But there's some sort of wiggle glitch that you can do. You can wiggle Mega Man left and right really quickly on the right place with the right timing. I don't even know what the point of it is. I think he's just playing around right now, having some fun. Laurie going to take down this clone. That's really interesting. Using the select glitch to make sure that fireball hits the clone multiple times. We don't see that a lot, but that's not a bad looking strategy. I like that. A lot of times if it looks cool, then it's faster. So you want to just make sure you look cool. That's not my original thought, by the way. I think KLM says that. Laurie into Wily 3 now. Gonna drop down the first couple of screens. This is the safe setup. Okay, gonna do something a little different than I expected. Going to try to set up beams from this screen, which is more difficult in my opinion because you can... Wow, well done. That beam placement is tough, especially when there's enemies on the screen because there's a bunch of lag. So, well done, Laurie. That's a tough beam to get placed there to actually pull the zip off. So, that's really great. There's a way to get that beam to drop into its right spot as you screen transition into that room. There's a couple little subtle tricks to it, but once you get it down, that's a really easy way to place beams. But Laurie might not need that strat at all if Laurie can just place beams where they are needed. So Laurie bustering down the first 3 bubbles, not going for dupes, which is the safe strat, which is a good way to go. if you're not confident in your ability to create dupes. We didn't talk about dupes when Coolkid went through there. What you can do with those blocks is, as soon as the block is leaving the screen, on the frame that the last piece of the block leaves the screen, if you push B again, a magic mystery block will pop out of nowhere, and Mega Man will be holding another block that he can throw again. So if you dupe on that screen, get duplicate blocks, you can throw blocks at every single bubble, and that is faster. Although it is risky, because if you don't get the dupes, then you have to switch to Buster to finish them off. So, you know, pluses and minuses. I see in the chat, dupes are literally impossible. I agree. I did a good number of practice runs and things myself today, and I think I got one dupe, and I was excited. I got a dupe. One. Laurie, trying to find the pixel for the zip here. This is a tricky zip. And it's got, the beam has to be in a perfect spot. It's pixel perfect. Runs out of beam. And so going to travel along the glitchless route, using elect to take the turrets down, which is not a bad idea. Okay, now this is going to be tricky for Laurie. Without beam, this moving platform is hard. I died here a million times as a kid. This is what prevented me from beating the game most of the time. And if I did get past this, I died in the refights. So getting up to here is not a problem. Getting back on the platform, really nice. Clutch jumps there. That jump getting back on the platform is the hard one. It's really tight. Laurie's going to use bombs to try to skip the refights here. You don't have to use beams, you can use bombs. Okay, going to change strategies. Gave it a shot, and now going to fight the refights the way the good programmers intended. Yeah, I see in chat, hardest jump in the game, harder than beam zip. I agree. I've tried that jump a couple times when I've run out of beams and just said, okay, well, let's go for this and see if I can do it. I can't do it. That's a really hard jump. So Laurie gets some swag points for sure for making it through the nasty jump point in the game. Takes down. Ooh, that was very, very close there. Takes down ice. Those ice projectiles, even though Iceman was dead, those ice projectiles will still finish you off. So that's a huge problem. Laurie's life awfully low here, trying to get Gutsman with some bombs. Need one more hit from a bomb. Oh, and he throws the block. So Laurie's going to go back to Bondman, I believe. Yes. So this could be tricky. Laurie's going to be low on fire, not wanting to use fire here on Bombman again because you need fire for the Wily fight. And you need plenty of it for the Wily fight. So bustering down Bombman here. Looks good. Fireman is a jerk. Okay, we're going to go to the continue screen. Oh, and Laurie's going to forfeit, it looks like. SRL, Laurie's forfeited there. Laurie might still try. Laurie, you should have kept your timer going. I mean, still get the race finished. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm editorializing here. But yeah, when you continue, now you've got full resources. You've got everything you need, so you can definitely try again. I don't see why not. Almost got that zip pixel. I also saw that Laurie said in the chat that he doesn't know how to do the refight skip at all. That refight skip is, not only is it difficult, it's weird, it's glitchy. As I was playing around earlier today, I used 2 beams to set up my refight skip, and I pretty much thought I had it, and I was thinking, all right, we got this, and we'll go to Wily and we'll finish the game. Those of you that saw the Tubes match, I think it was Tubes versus Squidman, Tubes ended up zipping into the ceiling, but then not fully making the screen transition, and you get stuck in the ceiling. I had the same exact thing happen in the same situation that Tubes had it. It was really weird. So that refight skip is nasty. You know, you set it up right, you do the things that you're supposed to do, and you still will end up in big, big trouble. It's hard. Yeah, so I've been paying attention to what Laurie's been doing. I don't know where Coolkid is right now. Mega Man and the platforms are traveling around in some sort of green screen area. Looks like Laurie is going to bail on that run. You can't see the platforms at all on Coolkid's screen. This is really weird. He knows that there's a platform there where the refill was, so he's got that. So, oh, and then some sort of glitch. Those, like I said, those platforms, I hate those guys. They're really glitchy. On the frame that they shoot, apparently something can happen. Like if you land on them on the same frame that they shoot, you like go through their top and then you get hit and you fall and you die. It's really annoying. It's really weird. So we are going to be starting the next race here shortly. I think they're readying up. And so we will see round 2 here in just a moment. And looks like we're off. So again, Coolkid starting cut, Laurie starting guts. But we saw, I mean, Laurie had a great 6 Robot Masters, I think. And so we saw that just because they're taking a different route doesn't mean that Coolkid is just automatically way ahead. I mean, it is Coolkid, but you know, Laurie did a great set of robots and did a good job of keeping up with Coolkid through those first 6 stages. For many of us, being within like 2 minutes of Coolkid is probably quite an accomplishment. Maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4, because how can you keep up with 18s? It's really tricky. For most of us, our sum of best isn't even in the 19s, so yeah, what can you do? Just run the best run you can. As Laurie comes into Gutsman's fight, pay attention to Gutsman and see when he jumps and then he hits the ground, he's going to cause an earthquake. Laurie's goal is to jump right before Gutsman hits the ground so you don't get affected by the earthquake. The timing is difficult. There was one earthquake there. Laurie showing us how it's done, though. Really, the first like 2/3 of that fight from Laurie, that was fantastic, and getting the damage in quickly too. That's the hard thing about that Guts fight, is not only are you trying to avoid earthquakes, you also have to get in the damage on Gutsman as fast as possible. So that was a nice fight. Coolkid doing the Buster dance with Cutman, finishes him off no problem. I wonder sometimes if Alec is a stage that Coolkid can do in his sleep. Maybe eyes closed at the very least. He has a few strategies. I've watched his glitchless run many times to try to learn strategies from it. And just his basic movements and how he gets through the screens is really something phenomenal. Gets that corner jump again, no problem. Laurie getting through the Susie section of Cutman. Was a nice little pattern there for Laurie. Well, Susie's move, I wouldn't say randomly, but they have a couple of fixed patterns, but they have a number of patterns, and so there's a lot of different outcomes that you can get based for how the Susies move, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. Laurie gonna pick up some extra health there. Coolkid going for the magnet beam. He does not get jailed, and he gets the top exit. Laurie coming into Cutman, going to take Cutman down with these blocks, which is nice and quick. And with the select glitch as well, just like last time. Coolkid a little low on life here. I can't exactly see, my resolution is not good enough to see exactly how much life he has. He may die if he hits one of these zappers, but it would be pretty uncharacteristic for him to hit one of these zappers, and he makes it through. And Laurie into the beginning of Cut. Coolkid into ice, gets a swag extra life there. And he's going to use some beams again and see if he can zip his way through some of ice. Looks like he's going to drop down here and sort of reset himself to get out of that water. Now he's going to go for the ice pixel. And there's the first zip for ice. Laurie coming up to the magnet beam, but of course Laurie's not going to have to worry about jail because Laurie has guts power. Gonna just get those blocks out of the way and go pick it up the old-fashioned way, the right way. Coolkid zipping through the corridor in ice. Makes his way to Iceman quickly. Coolkid moving on to fire. Laurie is getting toward the top of a leg here. Coolkid gonna do a little zip at the beginning here. Get through this wall so you don't have to walk all the way around. Does a mini corridor zip there. See, this is how you do fire right here. And Laurie using the menu change to get past that first zapper, taking damage, but not falling down the ladder and going back to the other screen because of it's the same thing as the select glitch. If you hit start and you go to your menu, when you come back out of your menu, you're able to move right away. So it's just like avoiding the knockback. Coolkid flying through this fire stage. I marvel at the people that can get through fire really quickly, because fire is one of my Achilles heels. It's a stage where things can go right, and that's cool, but if things start going wrong, I have a lot of problems, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that. Fire is a difficult stage. Laurie heading into ice. Coolkid select glitching down Fireman. Coolkid at the beginning of bomb stage now. Laurie's out of the water, up to the top of ice here. I wasn't sure, I couldn't really remember from the last race if Laurie was trying the ice pixel to do the zip. Laurie is climbing out of the Yoku block area. Using beams to do it though, which is the smart play there. And now the dreaded platform screen, this one, these platforms, even when you're using beams, this is still pretty tricky. Gonna drop down and refill the beams there, and now beam out. The platforms in the second half of that area were really good because they were down low. They weren't gonna shoot Laurie, and they weren't gonna go up and block Laurie's path as Laurie needs to get out of that area and back up toward the top of the screen. Coolkid with the quick setup to the bomb zip. Goes right in. That bomb zip is a big one. It saves a really good chunk of time. There's a lot of walking and jumping that needs to be done if you don't do the zip. And he'll make quick work of Bomb Man here. Very quick work. That's how you do it right there. Laurie will be beginning fire stage now. Coolkid's going to make pretty quick work of Guts. He's got the beams, so he doesn't have to worry about these platforms. He's just going to run across this whole stage. He's looking for a zip. He gets the zip, so that saves some running time. He's going to try to set up another one right here. He's a little low, so he doesn't have the second zip. He does have the glitched out miners from getting the first zip. That's always kind of funny to see. And that's one more final advantage of having beams when you're in Guts, is when you come across that big blue, that big eye, you get to use a beam and just go over the top of him. You don't have to gamble on, you know, are you going to be able to jump over him? Is he going to jump over you? You just go. And Coolkid zipping through the corridor there, so he's got a good-looking Guts right now. Laurie's making good progress on fire. Laurie getting the zip. And that was a close one. Laurie's still making it. Those fireballs are horrible in fire stage. They have a couple of set patterns, but it is RNG based what pattern you're going to get, and they can move a couple of different directions and come from different places. When they're in your way, they're just horrible. Coolkid setting up the Wily 1 zip. And yet again, he's got it. That's a zip I don't think I'll ever understand. That precision beam work is something else. Laurie select glitching Fireman, looking really good. The ice projectile's in a good spot. Getting those hits in. Need one more hit with a second projectile, no problem. And Laurie with 2 slivers of life out after killing Fireman. Coolkid got a really nasty pattern out of the platforms there. I don't know if you noticed that, but those platforms were all moving up. That's the worst thing they can do. I mean, even Coolkid took a hit from either the side of a platform or a bullet there. If those platforms move up, that's exactly where you want to be, and they're just blocking your path. You have to either sneak under them or take damage without falling into the spikes, and that's hard to do. Coolkid about to take down the Yellow Devil with the select glitch. He is so fast at that. I don't understand how you get the select speed the way some of these top runners do. My select glitching is quite a bit slower. Laurie making it through some of the difficult part of Bomb Man. Finally done with that Sniper Joe. That Sniper Joe is always really scary, especially if you're using beams. Looks like Laurie is not going for the bomb zip. Gonna ice that that flying orb that shoots at you, which is a good idea because if you ice him, another one won't spawn on the right side of the screen. There's the last Sniper Joe. Luckily, that's the jailed Sniper Joe. That's where he belongs. He should just stay there. See, here's his other friend who wants to get in your way one more time before you get out of the stage. So Laurie letting us know that he's on a really good pace. He's well below his PB time, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's get a PB here. Coolkid again showing us how Wily 2 is done when you can do all the strats. So Laurie is using beams to get past the big eyes. That's the strategy. Last time I wasn't quite sure what had happened when Laurie took a death. So Laurie's passed all three big eyes, which is great, but used up, I think, all of his beams. So he's going to need refills. I would imagine, since he knows what he's doing with this strat, that he probably has a spot in mind that he wants to get a refill from. Because he's going to need more beams if he wants to do any zips. Coolkid zipping through Wily 3. How many dupes? How many dupes will Coolkid get? I'm going to put my money on 3. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. 5. 5 dupes. That's, I mean, even though it wasn't perfect dupes, he could have gotten 1 more. It's still just really impressive. Like I said, I get 1 dupe out of about 100 tries, and I'm excited. Ooh, Laurie taking a death at the infamous platform room. This platform room is the worst. There's so many things that can go wrong. That can just take your run away. And it's not necessarily your fault. There's a lot of things. Platforms can move in weird ways. They're shooting bullets. There's just so many things. Coolkid getting the swag set up on the zip on Wily 4. And then the second zip. This is how it's done. This is how you do Wily 4. In case you were wondering. The quick exit out for the refight skip. Coolkid's got a fantastic Wily 4 here. This is where Laurie's filling beams. There's 2 refills down there at the bottom of the screen. So he got a couple more beams. I think he went back and forth once or twice to get some beam refills. He's going to have to go refill some more. And Coolkid taking down the Wily machine. This is definitely going to be an 18 time. After some of those impressive stages like Wily 2, Wily 3, he's got an 1840. His SRL time is also 1840. See, he's not just fast. He's fast at hitting the split button on, I don't know if he has it on a controller or a keyboard or where his split button is. He's good at hitting that and hitting the enter button in SRL at the same time. GG, Coolkid. Laurie is up to the Yellow Devil room. An 1840 for Coolkid. That 1840 for Coolkid is a tournament best. Coolkid had an 1847 as his best tournament time. And so now an 1840 is the best time we've seen out of this tournament so far. And in case you were wondering, no one else has pulled off an 18 in this tournament. I think there has been a 19 or 2. Yeah, there's been one other person that's run a 19. Everything else has been 20 or above. So that just gives you a good indication of how fast Coolkid is. The fact that he can get an 1840 in a race situation, get that kind of time, and it's let me see what the 19. The 19 time was a 1930, so Coolkid's fastest time versus the next fastest time is 50 seconds. So that's pretty amazing. And looks like Laurie is going to bow out of this one. I saw his menu come up. I was hoping he would be able to finish, even if it's not a PB, that he would be able to finish, but if he doesn't want to finish, that's no problem at all. Yeah, so some great races, some good performance out of both folks. Laurie will hopefully be getting that PB here soon. I mean, he's totally on pace to get a good PB. So some good 6 Robos performance along with just get those Wily stages. Laurie's going to be getting a PB here soon. So GG to both. It's been a great great race. Yeah, it looks like Laurie is going to forfeit and head out of this one for sure. So coming up, I think I just saw that we were going to have another match tonight, but I think that's been rescheduled. So there are no more matches for this tournament for today. Looks like tomorrow we've got 2 matches. One of them is, it's kind of a double header. One of them is at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then the next one is at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It'd be really cool if those end up on the same speed gaming channel. We'll have 2 back-to-back. So double header tomorrow night. Hope to see everybody there. Let me see if Coolkid wants to come in and talk about his races, and Laurie as well. So I just sent them a message in the SRL chat there. We'll see if they want to get in here and talk about what happened in these races. All right, looks like CK is going to join us. He's probably got to pull something up. So hang out for just a couple seconds, and we will be talking to Coolkid in just a moment. I see in the chat, Laurie's saying that he's got his sum of best down. in these races. That's really great. Sometimes gold is better than PBs. So GG, Laurie, get those golds, get that time down. You're going to get a PB here real soon. I think Coolkid is here. Hello.
Hey. Is this thing on?
Yeah, is this thing on? Yeah, you sound good to me. How did those races go? Tell us what went down today.
They were good. I picked up after. Yeah, I had Elk Man was rough today for me, but other than that, I'm happy with my play.
Yeah, we definitely saw a couple different things from you, which is some of them are very rare. Like we saw the occasional mistake, gasp, because I mean we don't see you make mistakes ever, but your mistakes, of course, were really small. You had some other things that were really impressive, like that Wily 2 in the last run.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like going for Wily too. I like trying to get as fast of a time as I can. Just go all out. I grab some extra backup beams in Wily 1 in case I were to fall out of the wall. But so far I've been lucky in these races. No soft locks, but might happen one of these races. But so far, as long as I'm not getting soft lock, I'll just keep going for the skips. Just go all out.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, I for one, and I'm sure there's lots of people that appreciate the fact that you are trying to do all of these fastest strats and give us the slightest chance. Not that we're ever hoping that you would soft lock, but so what do you have, Coolkid, coming up? Do you have one more race to go in your series?
Yeah, I've got Monkey left. We're both 2-0, so I think we're both looking to it'll be we're both moving on from the group play, but it's just to decide who's going I don't know, top position, I guess, in the group.
Yeah, that should be really exciting. That match isn't set, is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's not set yet.
Okay, it's not set yet, but we'll be watching for that, because if you guys are both 2-0, that'll be a great match to watch for the decider on who's going to be the #1 seed out of your group.
Definitely, I really look forward to it.
All right, well, thank you so much. Great races, fun to watch, and I will be looking ahead and waiting for that match with Tired Monkey.
Yeah, definitely, and thank you very much for doing the commentary.
Yeah, no problem. It was a lot of fun. I love doing these. These are great. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. This was Coolkid and LaurieDeBeaver. If you haven't, make sure to check out their channels. Give them a follow if you've never seen them before. And my name is Stuffin' Things, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much.